What are we talking about?
Yeah. So I would have lost that bet. I thought for sure the first person that would have said, "What are we talking about tonight?" would have been AJ.
You should have knew better than that because I would be the one who just says it.
I should have.
Say it again.
No,
you say stop talking
not
about
to
it.
say that, so I decided I won't say it.
You bit your tongue.
Stop.
Yes,
Stop
I
talking
did.
about it.
Oh, I love it.
Welcome to the Rhythm Pyro Podcast, where Posey, AJ, and Jamie ignite your passion for pyro musical show design while testing the very limits of your capacity for stupid.
Hey gang, welcome to the maiden voyage of the Rhythm Pyro podcast and what is bound to be a disastrous go the first time out of the gate. I'm Bo, that's AJ, and that's Jamie, and all three of us eat, sleep, and breathe unique fireworks show designs, most specifically the Pyro musical. And this podcast is going to be a place where we can get together, talk shop, talk art, and share tips, tricks, and insights on anything having to do with scripted work with you. So, gentlemen, what's good?
Hola, this is AJ, the Mexican.
This is Jamie, the non-Spanish member.
And it's begun.
And it's begun. First and foremost, I guess we can just kind of go around the table and kind of give introductions on who we are and how long we've been doing this and why we do it. And I suppose kind of go from there. So, should we flip a coin to see who goes first?
AJ always goes first.
That's true.
Oh, what the heck?
He is our God. Where is...
He leads by example.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. AJ, you want to go first?
I'll try. That way I sound the most stupid. How's that? There you go. Well, my name is AJ. I am from Illinois, and I got into fireworks about 12 years ago. And then back in 2015, I started watching these videos of this guy on YouTube. And he kind of got me addicted to pyro musicals. So instead of just shooting cakes off my backyard, I decided to get into show design because it interested me to do something different with fireworks. And ever since then, that's what I've been doing, spending a bunch of money.
I heard that guy was pretty good looking.
Absolutely.
What were your shows like before you started doing scripted stuff?
Just 25, 30-minute cake shows. Just lighting it up. Pretty much the same thing I've been doing the whole time. I just made the Pyro musical the finale of the shows from now on.
Yeah. Yeah. So before circa 2023, going way back into the step, did you only do 2 shows a year? You had Iowa and then you had Texas, right?
So it started in Iowa back in 2014 or 2013, I think it was, is when we really started shooting fireworks off on a bigger scale. So it started off a year prior to that with just some consumer fireworks we picked up at a store, started shooting it in the town. And then it went from a little couple boxes to a tote full. And then the next year I found wholesale, the glory of wholesale, and didn't know that you could get that much stuff for $2,000.
Wait, when you first found wholesale, who'd you buy through?
The first person I bought through was Victory Fireworks.
Is that, I always get this mixed up. Is that Texas or Wisconsin?
Oh, it's Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
And yeah, purchased from them until I got into the musicals. And that's when I had to search for this Proline stuff that everybody was talking about that I knew nothing about. And that's when I found RKM, actually.
Yeah.
And then again, this guy I talked to from YouTube, he informed me of this guy named Marcus. So
Virus forever.
I started going to Marcus too. I have a lot of dealers.
It's funny you bring him up because I'm wearing those shirts that Jamie made us.
I'm wearing my shirt.
Yeah, are you really?
Oh my God, dude. Hold on. Let me get my phone. I'm taking a picture.
Marcus forever. Oh boy. Okay. AJ, good deal. Jamie, your turn, buddy.
Hey, buddy. So yeah, I'm Jamie. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, where it's finally legal to shoot fireworks. It is a great day. But I started doing fireworks probably shooting. I've always loved them, but I started shooting fireworks at, personal parties, probably started in 2015. And each year is like, that was cool. Let's do more. So we'd buy more and then more. And in about 2019, I got the great idea that, hey, let's fuse everything and play music. Well, after no sleep for 3 days and trying to fuse everything, and it turned out pretty well, but somebody messed up the Bluetooth music. I was like, this is cool, but I started really diving into videos, and I too ran into the hyper musical Bose and immediately fell in love with the true Pyro musical. And in 2020, I bought my first full-on firing system and proceeded to go overboard. And in 2020, I accidentally met Bose and joined the Fireworks Club with him because I found out we lived fairly close together. Went to Skywars in 2020, and the love of fireworks has been burning. 2021 was the challenge of doing a pyro musical by a song written by Bose. So that was a very stressful year. But the following year, I had to outdo that year. So each year is always the goal to outdo the previous year. So it is getting quite difficult. I need more friends.
We got Chad. We got Chad now. Chad lives so close.
Chad is great. I love Chad.
Yeah, I'm so jealous. You guys all live close to each other.
I know. We got to get you a high paying plumbing job.
It's because nobody wants to live in Illinois.
I know.
Well, if you had a cushy union plumbing job, you'd probably stay there too.
Cushy.
A cushy, like as in
good money for those fireworks.
Yeah, that's right. You got to pay for all this shit's. It's not cheap.
It is not.
Yeah, so when you did kind of the benefit, though, I mean, really, like I said, most of it's paid for by them. I mean, the only show that ever cost me any money is the finale, and so
yeah,
and then the rest of the year I get to have fun with Doug and blow up other people's money.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's like but
we all know that the equipment isn't cheap.
Yeah.
And it's always growing.
Yeah. You constantly build the stockpile, but I think the way that you do it it's awesome that you have so many people that contribute to the show, in terms of monies to get it off the ground. Because it's like Katie and I were talking about that at dinner tonight for the lake show. And she's like, oh, how's things going for the lake? And I said, poorly. We have a community that watches the show, and I don't know if it's just a different dynamic, but I think of all of the years that we did the lake, it was maybe 1 or 2 years out of the last, 8, we broke even. Dad and I break even on stuff. So it's really awesome when you're able to pull in the community and get them involved to start helping shoulder the load for some of that stuff.
Absolutely. And it shows the appreciation of the show that you're doing too.
Yep. Jamie, do you get plenty of help usually at your summer show?
When you show up, yes.
Okay. So I'm talking about money. So I'm not going to give you any of that.
On soundbite. Where's the sound guy?
I take the manual labor over the money these days.
That's right. I forgot who I was talking to.
It's just a small, it's a small backyard thing that I do. It was literally just a 4th of July party that we started shooting fireworks, and then it got a little dangerous. So I was like, maybe we should fuse things. And then it became the electronic thing. And then it became OCD. I got to do more and it's got to be bigger. And of course they can't keep up with my, compulsive buying habits.
Yeah. AJ, the way that you do it, I think it works out really well. Having like those private group that you can kind of, plug in with the people that help you spread the word, right? Do you have some kind of like posting regimen that you guys go on, or is it just one of those things where, every week or two you'll kind of plug into it and then decide, okay, yeah, we need to kind of work on trying to raise more funds for the show?
I just set the budget where I think last year it's the same thing as this year, and it's just whatever I can get for that amount. So that way it doesn't really seem like I'm trying to make money or make it any bigger, and continue from there. So like this year, I think we had the same budget, or we do have the same budget as last year, but it always comes down to if, we make less, I just shoot a little less. That's all completely done by them. So when you donate enough, but I am appreciative of everybody, because it literally every year it's the same people. Like sometimes you'll catch someone new that comes into town. They got invited by friends or something from hours away, and then they donate after the show. But it's always the same people, always. Even though there's literally like 1,000 people there, it's like you could all put in like $2 and we'd be done. All right.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's not hard.
It's insane. You get so many people that come out to these little community shows, and you could even try through because I've tried that too throughout the day. Is I'd send I did like a little monologue audio thing, and I sent it to Michael. I was like, hey, can you do me a favor and just while the band's playing all the day long, could you just every hour or two, play this and stir and muster things up? But it gets crazy, because I always feel like, I guess this goes into the relinquishing controls on that end of it. It's so hard to try to get other people involved to a degree where they're like, yeah, I'll take this and run with it, right? To try to make sure that the show hits its budget. But you have other people other than, like you and Amber, that will go out and try to, like pulse the community to get donations, right?
I do, but that's where I said it always ends up being the same people. Yeah. It's the weirdest thing, to be honest with you. There's people that know people, and they put the word into other friends, and then they come out and see the show. Every year you look at it and the crowd gets so big that now the cars are, the cars are parking down the road really far. And the amount of people there it just looks insane, but it's always the same people. I don't know what it is. I almost feel like walking around with like 50 Cent.
Yeah, dude, give CJ and Caden buckets and just have them stand at the end of the road, and just with like a sign, like that old Little Rascals episode where they're like, hey, $1 for entry, 10 cents for entry, whatever.
Jason made $5 selling pops for 50 cents a box, dude. I had a whole case of them, and he took off for a few hours, him and his cousins, and that's what they were doing. They were selling pops for 50 cents a piece. Wow. Off of my pops. Instant all profit, baby. He has learned well.
Normally at the end of the day, a group of the people who set up the party would go around and ask for donations, and that's where mine come from, which covers typically maybe a third of what I went overboard on. You almost gotta love that, right? The walking the bucket around after the fact, after the show. So it's almost like you almost feel like walking up to people and go, so, hey, did I earn some of that, as you're staring at their wallet?
So it is kind of funny at this show. There's something I was going to say, but after the show, so that town fills up probably about 2.5 hours before the show. And as soon as that show is over, I don't even have time to clean up the shooter's table or pick my stuff up. And within 5 or 10 minutes, that town is crickets, dude.
Really? They clear out that fast after the show?
That's the end of it, dude. That's the end of the night. So the last time they did it, I felt kind of bad because they had a band going and the band had just started playing. They played between 8 and whatever. Well, it gets dark at like 9:15. So they play for like an hour. So they put on this big show. Everyone leaves. Now you got this band playing and there's 75 people left. And I feel really bad when that stuff kind of happens.
It is kind of crazy how quick people clear out. I mean, you see that at like big municipal shows and things like that too, where, you'll go for the show and then you'll spend 3 hours in traffic trying to get out. But I guess you're kind of right. I mean, do you have a chance to interface and talk to people after the show? Or, I mean, are they just gone so fast that you don't even really get a chance to?
So most of it's the day of when you're setting everything up. Everyone's trying to walk over and talk to you. And I try to be as polite as possible. We all know how it is.
No.
Jamie.
What does that mean?
Oh, you know what that means.
I'm always polite.
Oh, okay. Oh, you are polite about it.
Don't be rude.
Wait, was that to me or Jamie?
I don't take your pick. It's applicable across the board.
Say it again.
When you're setting up a show, it's like, you obviously want to, your focus is so hyper focused on
You're more likely
getting
not slept.
What?
You more likely haven't slept during the setup of the show either. It's pretty stressful.
You know what? Actually, Jamie and I both went. What about yourself?
What
got you into the whole thing?
All right. So my name's Bo, and I've been doing scripted shows for let's see. I think the first Light Up the Lake was in 2014.
Yep.
Yeah, that was my first first experience with a scripted show that I felt like showing the world. My dad was my dad's been a pyro since the 70s, 74, 75. Just, shooting little backyard shows. And I think when I finally came of age to a point where he was kind of cool with me like touching stuff. You guys know my dad. That takes a lot of trust. I mean, shit, I think I was probably, I think I was probably in high school when he would like let me cut the fuses back on 1-4 fireworks.
Prior to that, he would not.
Late in life. Oh, well, before that, it was like, hey, Bo, did you pay for any of this? And of course, the answer to that question is, well, no, Dad, I didn't pay for any of that. And he's like, all right, well, then don't touch it. You just stand out there and you can just look at it. If I need something to drink, I'll let you know. But so I've been doing Light Up the Lake since 2014 with Pops. And then, I think, first really cool show that I think I had the opportunity to shoot was NFA in 2015? I can't remember. I think it was 2015 because then I think the return visit was 2017. But 2015 was cool because it was the first time that I was in a competition. But it was a really cool experience. It was a club shoot with OPAG. But I got to do the design. It was you get this product list that's just nothing, but the most it was enough to make you go, like, you make your hair stand on end on your arm. Like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do with this? There's no one shots on here. There's no one shots on. We had, have you ever seen those pictures on my Facebook with like they almost look like track hurdles. I don't know. You'd have to dive back into photos and look for them, but they're almost like track
20 millimeters apart.
Dude, they were Dominators Mega Minis. You ever seen those? I mean, the Mega Mini is probably no bigger than dude. There's cell phones that are bigger than the Mega Mini. You know, and I'm talking footprint wise. They were so small. Yeah, they're probably the size of your little finger. But I never in my life got because I had pulled stuff apart before to mess around with things, but I think that was my first experience doing it for something special. And then when I put the site plans and stuff and, you know, the workflow plan in front of the guys from OPAG that showed up at this event, they looked at me like, you want us to do what? you want us to do what with these?
They still talk about it.
Yeah, they're like, oh, guys, it's cool. I mean, you just pull them apart and check this out. This one, this whole row, these are green. This whole row, these are red. This whole row, these are white. And all the while, you look back at their face. And I mean, you've never seen such contorted faces, man. I thought they were going to mutiny probably 2 days into that.
Caesar.
Well, see, I learned. I learned, and then after this, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I don't like pulling stuff apart. It's like maybe you like pulling it apart, but maybe you just kind of like other people to do it for you.
AJ,
or bigger pieces.
Yeah, or bigger pieces. Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's what me and Bo had to do for Jamie. Rip a cake apart.
Filed this experience in my memory with the Mega Minis. That's probably why I did such a poor job at Jamie's show.
I'll show him. Is that what you're trying to say? Oh, he just admitted it.
Yeah.
AJ did a good job.
AJ did a good job. I didn't do a good job.
Hey, at least I have extra shots left.
Oh my God. Oh, saved me $10.
One shot's matter.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So after let's see, I mean, Light Up the Lake has kind of been really the only annual show that I tend to do every year. That's my baby. But
don't you shoot that on the water?
Yeah. It's shot on the water with it actually started with 3 rafts. And then we've branched out the last couple of years to 5.
Nice.
Which was more of like 3 launch positions that were, you know, basically subdivided into 1-shots and then 1-shots, cakes and shells to 5. But, you know, those interim positions that kind of go in between center and, you know, left and far right. I've really only used those. I think last year was the first year that I put cakes on those interim positions. When you look at the cell phone pictures, it's wild because all you see on those tiny rafts that kind of go in positions 2 and 4, all it is like 2 Craigco racks and then 1 tiny 200-gram cake.
Actually, that's something I want to ask everybody. I think I've talked to Jamie about this before, but for your show, the first show you did, how many modules did you have and how many cues was it?
Oh boy.
I knew Jamie. I'm going to let Bo go first because this is probably a lot better or a lot easier of an answer than yours.
I'd have to go back and look at my script. I want to say it was 5 18Ms. I think it was 4 or 5 if I were to take a guess. If I'd have to go back and look at the script, but I think it was 2 at the center position and then 1 18M on the sides.
And that was the start. But then, I'm saying, on this one is, that was the start. And then Jamie found you, and Jamie's start was how many cues?
Jamie, your first show when you did Neon Skies that
was my second show. That was
your second.
So
with Cobra, so electronically fired. That was your second.
So my first Cobra show was 5 18Ms and a 72M, which was technically would have been 162 cues. But, you know, I thought 542 was a good number to pull out of 162. So I literally spent till 11 o'clock at night with random people coming out to help me to splice all these things together to pull off the 507 cues on the 162 modules. So fast forward the next year, 542 cues wasn't enough. Let's do 1,100. But we bought more modules, many more modules, and we had friends who had modules. And of course, Bozy had to show up to see the Bozy song and put some pressure under me. And that show turned out very well, much more smooth with the proper amount of equipment, no splicing wires.
Yeah.
Equipment matters.
What the hell was I thinking?
And you guys made fun of me for buying all those Cringtros racks.
Well, we didn't make fun of you. That was just jealousy.
Yeah, that was extreme jealousy.
I full on said I was never going to trough another rack and set up a 5-degree angle ever in my life again.
Yeah, I mean, my first ones were 3 homemade racks. It was $120 that I spent hours making. I used them for 2 shows, and they required zip ties. And after those 2 shows, I got to witness Bo's ones that he originally told me to get, the Cringtros racks. And the first time I got to use them, like, sold.
That's exactly what happened to me. I made all those troughs for a week. I used them in my 2020 show. I met Bo, helped him set up his test run for his Skywars Unlimited show. And I'm like, what is this? That's cool. And then I helped him at Skywars set up. And 6 months later, I had Cringtros.
Yeah, Bo's the reason that we spend so much money in Pyro, pretty much.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at him.
Okay, that's cool. Can I have some of your guys' money so I can buy stuff too?
Borrow our stuff. There
You
you
don't
go.
need to.
It's
Just
true.
use mine.
It's true. So if anybody gets anything out of whatever this is, it's make friends and network, especially in
I'm
hobbyist
taking
Pyro,
applications.
because you're taking you're interviewing applicants.
This is correct.
This is
Yeah.
Are you a Republican? Yes, you're hired.
Do you have Cringtros? Do you have Cobra? Goodbye.
Do you know how to sub address in Finale 3D? No. Okay,
Do you know how to
sorry.
script?
Thanks
Because
for
I don't.
Thanks for
Whatever.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think we're coming up on our time limit. So I think we're going to go ahead and cut things off here. This is going to be the end of episode 1. We're trying to aim for, anywhere between half hour and 45-minute episodes. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we hope to see you next time. I will probably pop open maybe a little Facebook page where people can kind of chime in and let us know different topics that they'd like us to talk about, different things to discuss, and yeah, I think that'd be really cool. So we'll see you guys next time.